Hey there, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's Ashley here from Lovely Commotion. I want to talk about light tables today, and I want to share some of my must haves, my favorite things for the light table that hopefully you can find too. So, I don't know what it is about light up things, but kids just love them, right? Light up shoes. They love their light up shoes. They love like light up glow sticks, like those necklaces. I remember having those as a kid and putting them in the refrigerator to try to save them, right? They love night lights. They love anything that lights up. And so incorporating the light table has been so easy because it's already something that they're like, ooh, what's that? And so putting some learning into that has been a really easy sell for them because they already love light up stuff. So we love our light table. It is actually one of our centers. It didn't always used to be one of our centers, but I saw the kind of power that I could bring in of this light table and the learning that we can do and that I can scaffold with them. So it now is a center. So we use ours as a center. It's a choice item all the time. So I want to first show you which light table we have. This one, I put a link in the comments for you, or in the description, excuse me. This one is like one of those tabletop, very slim. It just goes on another table. We've had this for years and years, and I just love it. It is very durable and it's got a slim profile. So if you're needing to store it, like I stored over the summer, it's not this huge table. And then if I need to move it to a different center, sometimes I'll use it like in the vet clinic for x-rays, or the doctor's office for x-rays, or in the Dramatic Play Center. That's a totally doable option. So if you're looking for one, they are not necessarily cheap, and I have made my own in the past with some tubs and things. But what I found was it was really hard for the children to use them unless it was really dark. And so I was having to find a dark spot for them to use this. This table, it's from Guidecraft. It doesn't have to have darkness. Like, we have daylight coming in, we have our regular lights on, and it still lights up everything. So it's working really well for us. Again, not the cheapest thing around, but it definitely has held up to the littles for gosh, at least 5 years. So that's just a little side note on the table we use. I get asked that a lot, and this is it, and it works perfect for us. But let's jump into some of the other things that you can use on your light table. So you got the light table, you've decided you want to incorporate it into your classroom. What can you use on it? Because sometimes it's like, I know when I first put it in there, I was hunting for things, and things just, it wasn't as easy to find until I kind of turned my mind onto look for anything translucent. And so that's what I've been doing. I've been looking for anything translucent, and it has worked out. So at the craft store, a lot of times they will have this table scatter, is what it's called on the bag here. I'll show you one of the bags. I bought this 4th of July one, and it says scatters and fillers. It's, I think, used to put in vases or things like that, but they are translucent. And so these are perfect. These are stars, or red, white, and blue stars. I have not yet got them out of the package, as you can see, but many times these are on sale in the seasonal department. But this is awesome. These are awesome little manipulatives that you can just start collecting. I had a pretty small collection at first, and then just slowly picked up things on throughout the years, and now I have a big bucket full. So those are great. So I've also found pumpkins, leaves. I've got some from like, these are supposed to be egg. No, not that one. Hold on. This one was like a spring one. It's supposed to be like eggs and butterflies. I found that in some flowers. Found that during the springtime in that same table scatter stuff. Also, those dragon tear things that they have at the Dollar Tree. Our Dollar Tree's been out of them for a very long time, but these are perfect too. These flatbacks. I think they call them dragon tears. Those are awesome. I found big hearts. I found little hearts. All in this like table scatter stuff. And then I just found a random one during Christmas, which this is a big favorite, and I like it too because it's not seasonal. It just has a whole bunch of randomness in it. It's just got stars and balls and big gems and little gems. And so this one's really great for sorting, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but I just wanted to show you kind of what I found. Also, with Christmas coming up, look for these little replacement bulbs that go in those ceramic trees. These are great too. I know they have the ends on them, but that's really no big deal for the kids. It kind of helps give them an area to pick them up. So these are fun for the light table. This is a clear one. Lots of great patterning and sorting with that. And then I also found some that I think they were like with the buttons, because they have a little hole at the top where you could string it on. But these are translucent as well, and so they can use those as well. So Christmas ones, really great. And then anytime you just see something translucent, so it's probably been, gosh, at least 3 or 4 years, but in the Target dollar spot, they had just these little toy dogs, but they're translucent and they stand up. And so this was just like a major fave. I wish I could send you to something that was similar, but these were just, they also had dinosaurs, they had dogs, and they had cats. And so they absolutely love lining these up. And many times I see them doing it by color, by themselves, right? They're just sorting them in a line by color, or they might sort them by dog type, because there's different types of dogs in there. But anytime you can find something, just keep your eye out when you're out and about. And is it translucent? Will the light table be able to shine through it? So those are just some examples of like little small manipulatives that you can later use to help scaffold their learning. And we'll get to that at the very end. I'll show you kind of how to use them. The next thing to look for, mainly during the summer months, is, or you can buy them on Amazon, are these ice cubes. These like reusable ice cubes. They're plastic. They have water inside. And these work great. They absolutely love patterning with these. They love stacking them. They love building with these. And these are, fairly cheap, not hard to come by when you're looking in the summer. And they do have water in them. And if that's a concern for you, you could always poke like a teeny tiny hole and squeeze it out. But I have not had any issues with them leaking. I suppose if someone bit into one, they might. So that would be something you would need to obviously decide for your own kiddos. But these have worked really well. And then this year I found some of these shaped ones. So like these were at Aldi's actually, believe it or not. You just kind of got to keep your eye out wherever you are. A little penguin guy and a star and a fish. And so these obviously are really great for sorting, especially at the beginning of the year, because they're 3 totally different shapes, right? And 3 totally different colors. So keep an eye out for those reusable ice cubes, because they work fantastic on the light table. Another thing you can look out for in these, again, I found during the summertime, but you can order them off Amazon. I actually found them at the Dollar Tree, are these translucent shot glasses. And they actually at the Dollar Tree this past year had full-size ones and small ones. Bought both of them. With the size of our light table, the shot glass size works so much better, just because, sheer amount of space, right? And so they have different colors like blue, purple, green, and pink. And they love stacking these. They'll make different towers with them, and then the light shines up through them, and it makes it very engaging. And so these are great little things to put at the light table. The ones from Dollar Tree do crack some. I just noticed this one had a crack. They're pretty cheapo, so I like to monitor them for any, I'll have to throw that one away, any issues in them, so that they don't, grab little fingers or give scrapes. But these super helpful, because they can cup stack with them, they can sort with them, they could use them in another activity to put all of the pink beads in, right? That would be a pretty simple, fun idea too, because they love to, pour back and forth as well. So those are great things to look for. Also, if you can find a clear tray, and I honestly don't know where this clear tray came from, because I Found it in the cabinet at my preschool. But it's got a lip on it. You can kind of see in the picture. It's clear. And so what's inside of there is some of that fake snow. So for winter, we put fake snow in there, put it on the light table, and then used a paintbrush to make letters, numbers, shapes, whatever you wanted to do with that. But you just kind of shake it a little bit and it'll all kind of settle back down and they can do it again. So once you kind of show them how to use this, they really gravitate towards it because, they can redo it over and over again. This one's fun, a little bit messy, obviously, but that's okay. So if you can find a clear tray with a little bit of a lip, that is perfect. Again, I just stumbled upon mine and was like, you gotta be kidding me. This is exactly what I need. And so we've also done in it, this one is colored salt. And you can see this one actually, my teaching partner did. She just put it in a Gladware container. So that's totally doable too, right? It's not obviously quite as smooth of a surface, but they didn't seem to care. So that works fabulously. And as you can see, it just lights up that C that kiddo made. And then I've also done old sprinkles. In the back of my cabinet, found some nasty old Halloween sprinkles. So I make sure to tell them, like, these are old. You cannot eat them. And, obviously that's going to depend on the age group you work with and the students you have in your class. But for us, it worked. I threw those in the clear tray and they were able to write their letters within the sprinkle mix. So that was a super fun one too. So some sort of clear tray with a lip on it so things don't fall out as easily, and a paintbrush. And you can just find all kinds of fun stuff to put in there. So that's a fun one too. And then let me show you my next favorite is not as easy to find. Actually, you kind of have to order them either, in a teacher store or on Amazon, but that's letters and numbers. But I felt like it was really important to have those. And so on Amazon, we found these teeny tiny letters. Now, I'm going to tell you, on the picture, they don't look this teeny tiny, but they're tiny. They're from Colorations, and I was a little bit concerned with the size at first, but I shouldn't have been. They handled them just fine. I've got 4 5s. Obviously, that's going to be different for your younger set of kiddos, but they've actually worked just fine. And so a lot of times we'll put these out with their name cards and have them match up the letters and create their name. This year, my teacher friend was so brilliant. This thing broke. This is the, the bottom of the stamps, the letter stamps. It broke off the top. And so I just threw all the letter stamps into a baggie and was going to get rid of this. And I was like, oh, I don't know. And she was like, no, don't. It's clear. And they can sort their letters into, here, let me find cute, into it on the light table. How smart is that? She's like, you're going to love me. This is a fabulous idea. And it is. It's so fabulous. So if you have one of these sitting around, fantastic, because you can use those. These only come in uppercase. I've yet to find lowercase translucent letters. So if you find them, please let me know. We would love them. But we can do lots of things with these. At first, I may just start with the letters of kids in our name. The first letter of the children in our class, and maybe make a sorting game out of it, right? Might write a letter D on this one, and they sort all the D's in here. Like, so many different ways that we can use this. I also bought these transparent letters and numbers because I wanted numbers, and Colorations didn't have the little tiny numbers, at least that I could find. And so these are actually quite larger. So you could easily use these with your younger kids. Like, here's the 4 and the 8, but it also came in a set with the with the letters too. So these are much bigger, easier to grab, and not a choking hazard. So this might be better for our younger set of kids, but we have both of these sets and they work differently, right? The letters wouldn't obviously fit in this tray, so the little ones work great for that, but the big ones are helpful too. So 2 sets from there, but I like to have letters and numbers in there too. It's just another way to bring learning in, another way to get them excited about learning by using light. The last thing I want to share with you are the activity mats. So I was finding that I was putting these things on the light table, and sometimes they could come up with their own ideas of things to do with them. These obviously were easy for them. They just started stacking them. That felt very natural to them because they're blocks, right? The animals, they started lining them up. That also felt very natural to them. But when I was giving them things like the beads and stuff, they didn't quite know what to do with them. And I have given them cups and spoons, and they really enjoyed being able to pour and things like that. But then when it came to like, I've got these specific colors of lights, like these light bulb things. I've got these amazing light bulb things, but they didn't really know what to do with them. I needed to kind of scaffold that for them. And so I decided to create some light table activity mats just as like a little scaffold. This isn't required that they do it, but it's sitting there. And so if they see it and they're like, oh, I can kind of see how this might organize. It just kind of gives them that little extra support that they need. So I want to show you a couple of those. The first one I have are mazes. And so I printed these on this transparency paper, which when I first started teaching that, like in first grade, that's something we did was print off transparencies. Definitely not a thing anymore. So the paper is not nearly as readily available as it used to be. But I will tell you that you don't really need to. It shines perfectly fine through the white paper. I did, kind of a test, and it works just fine with the regular paper, and or you can use this paper. But so this one is a path. It has like a green, and it's hard to see obviously because it's not lit up, and a red. And so they can take their little manipulatives and try to keep them inside. Let me grab one here that will fit better. They can try to keep them inside the path and kind of line them up. So they are working on some fine motor there. So that's an option. I also have like an easier path one where it's not as long, where they can fill that up with items. They love to do this with pumpkins. The pumpkins I have, they love to line them up along the path. So that's one idea that you could do with these small manipulatives. I also like to give them like shapes, like here's an oval, here's a rhombus, and they can take their manipulatives and line them up. Maybe all of the penguins are gonna line up on this one. And so they can make this shape. I've also got letter ones that they can they're basically tracing it, but putting items on there for their tracing. And so I've got one for numbers and letters and shapes. So that's a great way to use these. Also have empty sorting. So this is the blank sort by 4. So this one's really nice for things like these, because I think there might have been another one in here. I also have a sort by 3. So if there's only 3 items, I can kind of start it. And what I like to do is I like to lay this on the table and I like to start it. So I might put, the star in one, the fish in one, and the penguin in one, and then kind of leave the rest to the side and kind of see what they do with it if they're able to see that, and just give them a little bump there. Sorting circles, or sorting by color mats. I mean, I didn't pull them all out, but there's a lot of them. So just different ways to kind of scaffold their, what do I do with this thing that you just put on the light table? Because they won't stay long if I don't kind of give them that. And I've seen that, like they're attracted to the light table. They want to see what's on it. They like to see what's on it. But then if they cannot come up with what to do while there, it's just kind of like, well, okay, I'm done. And then they leave. And so I've kind of missed that opportunity in that center. And so that's why I created these, and they've been working great. Here's another one. It's a counting mat. These work great for the numerals. You can place them on top, count them, place them on top. And then this one works really good for these small letters. And so this one is missing letters like A, B, and then they're going to put a C in here, and then D, E, and then they're going to find an F and put it in here. And then I also have one that's got a lot more open spaces. I've got some patterning, empty patterning mats that they can just use and make a pattern. Sometimes I'll start a pattern to kind of get them going. But these mats have really helped just guide, right? And I'm not always right there. So if I can go ahead and set this up at the light table, kind of give a little bit of guidance, and then go work with my small group, it's more likely they're going to stay there and going to do the activity. So those have worked beautifully. So if I have any links, they're up in the description. I have some links for these cups, some of these reusable ice cubes, and the letters and numbers. All the rest of these were really just finds randomly when you're out. It's kind of fun to see, like, oh, we bring back, look what I found that's translucent. Like, you just never know what you're going to find. So start keeping your eye out if you have a light table and you want to start filling it up with good stuff. So those are all my must-haves. Some manipulatives, these super fun reusable ice cubes, translucent cups, letters, numbers, a shallow tray so that you can do some writing in there. Super fun. Will get you off started on your light table, and you'll be able to keep those kiddos learning and engaged. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, or if you have any ideas of what you use on the light table that works well, because I love adding to it. I love adding to our collection. So drop us a note and let us know. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you next week. Bye.